Hey folks, it's PJ from Wisconsin Air Gunners. Just got done with a long day at the range working with our recruits, doing a little handgun training. And while I was on break earlier, I got a message from my doorbell. And it looked like the UPS truck stopped by. Not this UPS truck, but a UPS truck. And the carrier had a box that looked like it was just about the right size for an AEA super sweet 22 caliber folding stock semi-automatic pellet rifle that I've been expecting from the pellet shop. So I think that has arrived at my house today. And if I'm right, what I'm going to do when I get home is get a scope mounted. I've got an adapter and a Tatsu moderator from Donnie FL. And I'm going to get all that set up and do some test shooting. So I'm going to bring to you guys another box to bench video where you're going to see me take it right out of the box, sealed up, get it ready, put some air in it, and give you an idea of what you can expect if you place an order for one of these rifles. So if you'll give me just a little bit to get back to my house, we'll pick up that box, see what the UPS carrier brought, and if it is in fact that rifle, we'll go back to the backyard range, get it set up, aired up, and we'll let you guys know, well, you'll be able to see just exactly how it performs. See you in a few. I don't know if you can see it, but there's two squirrels over there. Oh, why can't I have the rifle already set up? Well, there it is. Box from the pellet shop. So, here we go. From box to bench. I think I have everything I need to get set up, and hopefully we'll get this going before we lose the light. That's the thing. It's starting to be fall here. That means shorter days, and there's not as much time as I want to shoot after work. Everybody say hi to Maverick. He's going to help us out today. Squirrels are going insane right now. Double boxed. Nice note from Leticia from the pellet shop. If you're watching this, thank you. Very much appreciated. You get the owner's manual, some specs. You gotta turn the transparent cover clockwise. when we load the magazine. So manual's good. Wow. It comes well packed. I like that. Look at the size of that air tank. I mean, thickness wise. Snap into a Slim Jim. You got your MFT buttstock, like that. So, that's part of getting it ready. So I'm gonna have to get my castle nut wrench and fully tighten that up. But that'll be good enough for our purposes today. Got 2 magazines. Got decent spring tension in them. Looks like we're going to load the first one backwards and then work our way around to the beginning. First look, these appear to be actually pretty deep, suggesting that they'll take a fairly long slug if you're into that. How they shoot slugs, I have no idea because I've never shot one before. Safe and fire right there. Does have a power wheel, which seems to have maximum at the top. And then, well, I'm not going to play with that just yet. Seems to be how it's cocked. All right, let's start getting some accessories on. I have a Bushnell 2-7. For the purposes of our video, we're going to get this scope set up roughly so it's pretty close to level. My intent with this gun is to shoot crosshairs, but later I will come back with a level and make sure everything is perfectly in place. But for the purposes of this video, I want to keep things short. And so we're going to get it close enough. So what I did was took it up, shouldered it, and then lined it up so the reticle was perfectly vertical on a line I have out hanging there. And now I'll get these tightened down. I will probably come back and torque these later. Again, I'm just trying to get this gun set up so I can show you guys how it shoots before I lose the sun. Of course, unfortunately back here in the woods, I lose the sun a little bit earlier than I would if I was out in a field somewhere. That should be good. Make sure they're on tight here. So the air gauge is up front, and it looks like we're at about 50 bar. So looks like we have a probe fill. We have a probe right here. So side of the gun says 3600 psi max fill. So we will take our air tank and we'll put some air in it. Nicely machined and lightly lubed probe. And that's going to go right in there. Let you guys see that filling up. And for this first fill, I'm going to go to about 3000 psi. Okay, I'm on 3000 psi on my tank gauge. It's going to get loud. So it is unloaded right now, but I know you guys are going to be interested in hearing what she sounds like with no moderator on it. So before we put the Donnie on it, we will do a dry fire. Well, not a dry fire, but an unmoderated fire. No pellet in this. Pretty loud. I think a lot of that is the cycling of the bolt action. I think that's going to make it just a little bit louder, but we will switch over to a moderator and we'll see how that changes. Put that on safety. Oh, I like that. So end cap comes off nice and easy. Does have an air stripper of sorts in there. We'll put in our Donnie FL adapter. Well, except I used the knurled cap to tighten it down, and then the knurled cap got tight on there. So, stand by. All right, that fits perfectly. Now, we will put on the Tatsu. Now, let's go see. Now, keep in mind, there's no magazine and no pellet in. So part of what we're going to hear is that a semi-automatic pellet pistol or pellet gun uses excess air, so sort of waste air, to come back and drive the piston that goes back and then lets the mag go. So some of what you're going to hear is that air. Sorry, I'm pointing in front of my thumb. Some of that you're going to see is the mechanical action. Some of it is muzzle report. So let's just see how it goes. So most of that I can feel is air coming back out of this mechanism. So we'll see how that changes when we put a magazine in, because we have yet to do that. Then we're going to shoot some targets. That'll be fun. It's very lightweight. Holy cow, is it lightweight. We'll go get some pellets and get a magazine loaded. First, I'm going to try some 22 redesigns. See how they travel. Magazine feels nice. You got one magazine full, you might as well do two. Because if these redesigns shoot nice, that's good to know. I actually have quite a few of those. And they're a heavy pellet, and this gun sounds like it's firing pretty strong. I have to get some chrono numbers eventually and do some of that stuff, but that's not exactly what this review is about. This is about what happens when you take it out of the box, set it up. One more. All right. Let's go out on the range. Shoot a little bit before we lose the light. How's that sound? I have the scope mounted pretty low over the bore, so I'm hoping that that we're reasonably close to on. I did a quick mechanical centering on the scope. Let's go over to a backstop here and we'll take a shot and see if we're anywhere near zero. I'm going to use my old friend the frying pan here, I think. I'm going to go off 20 yards and take a shot. Okay, so that was pretty close to on. Now we're going to zero in a little bit more on that. Okay, I put more air in. Something to note, it says fill it to 3600. If you want to shoot two magazines, at least with the heavier pellets I'm shooting right now at max power, fill it to 3600. So we kind of went off, I think off what it could cycle with. So made sure I got the scope dialed, and I switched over to some 18.13 grain pellets. By the way, you see that 5-shot group there? The 4 were the last 4 pellets I shot once I had the scope sorted in, and then that 5-shot group was at 25 yards standing, so freestanding, no support, not leaning on anything. That was 5 rounds with the redesign. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to shoot, we'll see what I got. Can't remember if I counted the mag or not, but I'm going to shoot the JSB 18.13s, and again it's going to be at 25 yards freestanding, so I'll let you see the target. I'm going to go back over beyond where that archery target is, right over there. So in a moment I will be shooting. Hopefully you guys saw that. The 2 high ones, I hate doing this, but you know, I'm shooting offhand unsupported, and I know that the scope was above point of impact when I broke the trigger on those. So gonna go reload a magazine, and then we're gonna go over and I got some animal spinners on my quickie target, and we're gonna take a look at that. So we'll shoot some spinners and then some final thoughts. You guys hear that chipmunk? They never pop out in front of you when you want them to. Let me just show you how the loading works on this. You have to pull this bolt back, and then there's a little rod, and you have to pull it back far enough that it disappears. And then, of course, that's harder to do on video than it actually is in the real world. And there's a bar here that actually stops the magazine, so it seats perfectly, very precise, and the fit and finish on the gun, the machining, is really nice. So very impressed so far with that. Let me grab this extra magazine, camera in the gun, and let's go shoot some little animal spinners, unless a real little animal comes out, and then we're going to shoot that. But for those of you who don't like that and just like shooting paper, which is cool, everybody's got to do what they like. If I shoot a little animal, I'll warn you, so that if you don't want to see it, you don't have to. All right. Let me go set this up so you guys can see the targets, and then we'll take some shots. And we'll go back. Sorry, there's a squirrel out there that's not happy about me being here. All right. These guards aren't huge. Let's see what I can do with these guys. Okay, once I figured out distance and where to hit, which of course I'll work out once I really set up and dope the scope and maybe do a little more shooting off the bench. But I'll tell you, this little fella, he is screaming, put me up to his shoulder and shoot me offhand. If you are an AR-15 shooter, you will be right at home with this gun. Honestly, the trigger feels quite a bit like an AR trigger. You're going to get a little bit of waist air puffing towards your face when you shoot, so be ready for that. Okay, it's how the bolt works. It's not broken. It's what it's supposed to do. Because of that kind of action, and because you have basically with every shot a piece of metal flying back, and slamming into another piece of metal, you're going to get some action noise. So it'll be interesting for me to hear what you guys are hearing when I'm shooting the targets versus what I'm hearing when I'm shooting. There was definitely a difference in the muzzle report when I put the, again, I'm using a Tatsu on here. There was definitely a difference in the muzzle report, but your face is right up next to this action. And so you're hearing and feeling the vibration of that bolt coming back. Let me do this once. Okay, I'm pointing at a wood backstop, won't be too loud. I don't know if you guys can see that. But you're experiencing that bolt moving. I liken it to shooting an open bolt submachine gun, like what is it, the H&K UMG or something like that shoots open. So that bolt is coming back and forth, and you're going to experience that. So for firearm shooters, boy, you're going to be right at home with this. I just unboxed it, so this is the first time I'm shooting it. I intentionally didn't ask a lot of questions about it and didn't do any research before it came here, because I wanted to share with you what my first experience is with it. It has really good feel and build quality. Mosquitoes. So it feels like it's put together well. Obviously, we'll have to see how it lasts. You know, it's got a lot of stuff going on the inside, as many air guns do. So my hope is it will stick together. You might either need to have or borrow a castle nut wrench to really get the buttstock firmly installed. It requires that tool. It's got plenty of room for the dovetail sights, or for dovetail rings. I love this Bushnell AR, what did I say, 2-7 scope on here. I think that's really going to be good. It's a simple reticle with a couple of holdover points. And we got a fawn. No, we got 2 fawns, 3 fawns, and 2 mamas coming through. Maverick's having a little chat with them about whether or not they're supposed to be here right now. It looks like he's winning the argument because they're moving on. But back to the rifle. It looks great. It feels great. It's super light. It's only a couple pounds, and definitely could see where, I mean, you have the Mission First Tactical on here, which actually has a recess for a sling mount. This would be so easy to throw in a bag and in your car, or carry around all day, or, you know, on your four-wheeler or whatever it is that you do. And for you know, in the 20 to 30 yard accuracy department, I haven't done anything with figuring out if there's a pellet it likes better than another pellet, but I think it stands to reason that there may be some pellets that it favors, and once I get that sorted out with a little more time and attention, I think it's a real shooter. So I want to thank Ben and Leticia from the Pellet Shop for sending this my way. I hope that you have learned something from the video. If this was a rifle that was maybe on your list, I would definitely say it's worth checking out. Yeah, I think that's about it. If you have questions, I will be doing at some point in the future, no promises on timing, but I'll definitely be doing a future report, kind of get some time under my belt with this. God, is it a rifle? Is it a pistol? It's really pretty compact. And, you know, you can fold up that stock, and that's all she is, guys. I'm not sure exactly what to call it, subcompact. But I'll definitely be doing another video on it, and if you have things you'd like to know, I know somebody's going to say shot count, so sure, I'll try and do some shot count. I do want to play a little bit with the power adjuster. Obviously need to get some chrono work done on it. But if there's those things that you want to see, put them in the comments, and I'll make sure that when we do a revisit to this, that information is included. But until then, or until our next video, shoot safe, shoot straight, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.